Hello there, Atheist Jr. here, your friend and humble narrator. And if you have seen Aron Ra's new intro to his new series about responding to Kent Hovind's seminar, Lies in the Textbook, then you probably expected this video to come from Kent responding back. And if you've seen the video exchange debate back and forth between Kent and Aron, then this video will be very familiar to you. So without further ado, let's just get started.
I'm going to try to play him now speaking. Let me shut off that guy.
We can understand what that guy says.
Yeah. Let's see, how do I do that? Shut that one down and then bring that. Too many buttons to push here. PowerPoint.
Please learn how to use a computer, Kent.
Let's see. Hold on. Technical problems here, folks. They locked me up for 9 years, and I got a little behind on technology, as Ali G called it. Okay. Let's see.
You've been out for 5 years.
Come over here. Open up YouTube. Right there. YouTube. I had him all set up to come on. This screen is like really tiny. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm trying to read the numbers off of here. Okay, let's see. YouTube. YouTube. Okay. Now what? No, I don't want to do that. YouTube.
Holy shit.
Kent Hovind. Well, I know how to do it from here. One moment. Okay. The blessings of live. Okay. Aron.
Why did you go to your channel first?
Ra. There he is. Man, that font has got to be size 94. Here we go. There's Larry. And remember.
Welcome to our seminar on lies in the textbooks.
Mr. Larry is going. This is a few slides out of my seminar part 4. He's going to critique my seminar part 4. And praise God, this is going to take
I'm having technical difficulties.
4 years to go through everything he's going to say. So buckle up, Larry. Okay, let's see if it works now. 4 lies in the textbooks, if you folks would like all this, which is part of the bigger series, Creation Seminar, $50 for the whole thing, 18 hours on creation, evolution, all the facts for creation. Okay.
This video is a response to that seminar from 2005, but it isn't so much about the speaker as the arguments that he is obviously still peddling and that most other young earth creationists still use to this day.
Okay, well, let's just go through this little piece at a time here now. That would be slide number 28, Alt-DV 28. There. This video is a response. So he just now started a couple days ago to my seminar that I made in 2005. It isn't so much about the speaker as it is about the arguments that he obviously still peddling. That has the connotation of, something crooked going door to door peddling. Right, snake oil. Okay. And that most other young earth creation is still used to this day. Well, Larry, could it be that it's right? Often copying directly from this charlatan.
No, it's not right, the stuff you say. And people have shown you that it's not right. I did so in my debate. It's just that you're a narcissist, so you can't admit your own mistakes or that you've ever made a mistake. And also, you don't want to stop saying what you're saying because that's your bread and butter, Kent.
And he calls me, well, now, Larry, a charlatan, a person falsely claiming to have a special knowledge or skill, a fraud. Well, who is that? Let's see. In Egyptian mythology,
that would be you, Kent, because you're presenting yourself as Dr. Hovind, like you did on this very video, but you have a degree from an unaccredited school. Unaccredited means that the credits don't transfer to a properly accredited school, and that it's not recognized by any government accrediting agency or any real accrediting agency. And likely, if you're trying to apply to a job and the applicant who's going to get the job is either you or somebody who's got a degree in the same field from an accredited university, you're not going to get the job. So that's why you're a charlatan. You're presenting yourself as something that you aren't.
Ra was the god of the sun. He was the most important god in ancient Egypt. Larry, you're the charlatan pretending to be a sun god. Hello. Also known as sun god Ra, was a powerful...
Yeah, the surname Ra doesn't mean that he's referencing the sun god Ra of Egyptian mythology. It's a reference. You're just looking at the name Ra, but the name is Aron Ra, which is similar to Amen Ra. And it's supposed to be a play on the air elemental god Yahweh, and it's supposed to be a reference to how humans created their own god. Why would an atheist think that he's actually a god or that the sun god Ra was real? Think about it, Kent.
Deity of the central god of the Egyptian pantheon. The ancient Egyptians worshipped Ra more than any other god, and the pharaohs often connected themselves with Ra in their efforts to be seen as the earthly embodiment of the sun god. Is that why you chose that name, Larry? You want people to think you're bright? Let's see. Ra was most commonly depicted as a sun god who wore the sun disk on his head. He was also represented as a man with a hawk head and wearing a headdress with the sun disk. People in ancient Egypt believed that Ra was the ruler of the heavens. He was the bringer of light, the god of the sun. The sun god, the eye of Ra. Beware the eye of Amen Ra. Okay, let me see if I can make this go back and forth where I can get him to PowerPoint presentation. Is that it? No? Let's see. I typed it word for word what he said. Here we go. I think that's it. Let's see.
Often copying directly from this particular charlatan. Now, this guy doesn't have a very good reputation even among Christians, but I've chosen to feature his seminar because he still sources it, and so do a lot of other people. So that is the thing to correct. It also exemplifies the anti-intellectual silliness of alternative facts supporting alternative reality. And because this speaker exudes so much grossly garbled nonsense, more than any other single quack in his business, that it just makes my job easier to illustrate vividly how demonstrably, laughably wrong about everything religious fundamentalism is.
Whew. He should do the FedEx commercial. Let's see here now. Larry? This guy doesn't have a very good reputation even among Christians. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. You must be... how many calls a day do we get, or a week, Kelly? People love our ministry. Love
all day, every day.
All day, every day. If you don't like me, go change the channel. You're the one picking on my video, Larry. I've chosen to feature his seminar because he still sources it. And so do a lot of other people. And so that is the thing to correct. It also exemplifies the anti-intellectual silliness of alternative facts supporting an alternative reality.
Yeah, you notice how he said he has a bad reputation among Christians? I don't know why you're referencing Aron. He's not a Christian, he's an atheist. I think you know that. What he's saying is he's talking about people like Ken Ham and Answers in Genesis and your fellow creationists. Like Ken Ham specifically went out of his way to write a letter refuting a bunch of points that you made and saying that these are arguments creationists shouldn't use. And when Ken Ham is debunking you, that's not a good sign.
That describes evolution to a T. The fact is, dogs produce dogs and cows produce cows. There are no exceptions. Now, that's the fact. You're the guys with an alternative reality thinking cows are related to pine trees, don't you? If you go back far, billions of years, okay? And because this speaker exudes so much grossly garbled nonsense, more than any other...
If you go back billions of years, okay.
...other single quack in his business, that it just makes my job easier to illustrate vividly how demonstrably, laughingly wrong about everything religious fundamentalism is. Quack. What is a quack? Well, quack, a fraudulent or ignorant pretender to medical
A quack is the sound that a duck makes.
skill. A person who pretends professionally or publicly to skill, knowledge, or qualification he or she does not possess. A charlatan. Let's see. Biography of
Yeah, that sounds like it describes you pretty perfectly, Kent.
Aron Ra on the internet. Born October 1962, he's an American author. Now, what does it take to become an American author?
Well, he wrote a book called the Foundational Flaws of Creationism or something like that. I forget the exact title. But I own the book. I've listened to it on Audible. It's very good. And it was published by a publishing house. It wasn't self-published, not to disparage people who self-publish books. Like I know Seth Andrews of The Thinking Atheist has self-published books. And to be an author, you simply have to write a book and get it published. Now, the quality of your writing will dictate whether people take you seriously as an author or not. So that would be the distinction.
Anybody could do that, couldn't they? Like write a book. I've written 67 books. Okay.
Okay, please give us a list of the titles, the ISBN numbers of those 67 books, because I would be curious to know what they are. I know you've written 2 books, the What on Earth is About to Happen and Why on Earth Did God Let This Happen, for heaven's sake, which is a really long title. And I know you've written some children's books, but 67, like I've gone on your shop tab of your website and I don't see 67 books available. So not sure. It seems like you're exaggerating.
Atheist activist. What exactly does that mean? How do you actively go against something that doesn't exist?
Christianity does exist. And the way that just because atheists don't think God exists doesn't mean that Christianity, which is the major religion in the USA, which is where Aron is from, doesn't influence the government and the medical system and the school system especially. So atheist activism is fighting to protect the separation of church and state and to make sure that people aren't getting bad information because of a religious upbringing or because of their religious preference or persuasion. Atheist activism can mean lots of things. It can mean like protests at the Ark Encounter. It could even be my YouTube channel and me debating you, Kent. That could be considered activism.
Ra is the host of Ra Men Podcast and regional director of American Atheists. Oh, no, that's an important job. He had previously served as president of the Atheist Alliance of America and ran as Democrat candidate for Texas District 2 Senate seat. Do you become famous for running, or don't I thought you had to like win? You ran?
Sarah Palin became extremely famous for running for vice president, and she lost. Most of the candidates who've run for president or vice president are well known, if not famous. Like, this is just you trying to insult Aron for no good reason. At least he had the fortitude to run as a Democrat in a heavily red district because he's passionate about getting his atheist activist political goals accomplished in a state like Texas, which is also where I live, and it's a heavily red state, especially where Aron lives in Dallas.
For a seat, okay? Born in Kingman, Arizona, baptized as a Mormon. Despite his religious upbringing, he states he's been a skeptic from a young age. He studied paleontology in Dallas. Now, what exactly does that mean? He studied paleontology in Dallas.
Well, are we really doing this again, Kent? You read this exact article in the last debate between you and Aron. And you yourself said that you know that Aron had an associate's degree. So he had an associate's degree studying paleontology, and he is right now still going to school in Dallas studying, I believe, paleontology. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's something related to evolution. So he's still currently going to school, but he already has an associate's degree.
Doesn't say you have-
Is this pretending to have some qualifications you don't have, Larry? Does that mean you looked at a rock? Here, everybody ready? We're going to study paleontology. Okay, we're done.
Ooh.
Kent, studying paleontology is about fossils. Fossils aren't rocks. Okay? I think you're thinking of geology, which is studying rock layers, but studying paleontology is studying the fossils that are found within a rock matrix. And fossils are the permineralized remains of organic material like animals or even leaves and plants. So I don't know, you're very confused, Kent.
Did you get a degree, Mr. Nelson? You don't have a degree at all, from what I understand. No degree at all. But you studied paleontology. You took a course and failed it, or took a course and dropped out? You could have gone to class for one time and say, I studied paleontology. You're the quack and the charlatan, Larry. Come on now. You're a quack. You pretend you've got qualifications you don't have. Anyway, he goes on to say, let me see if I can make this work right here.
Kent, did you ever work at a movie theater? Because you're a great projector.
Because it's not just this one guy saying all these stupid things way back when, but the majority of everyone who believes as he does is still saying these same things today.
Now, Larry, could it be because it's right? Think about it. Okay.
And it's all wrong, and I can prove it.
It's all wrong, and he can prove it. Okay?
So by correcting him, I'm correcting all of them.
Well, we need you so badly too.
And if you believe his...
Oh, hang on. Alt-Tab. There we go. Get the right button. Let's see. It's not just this one guy saying all these stupid things way back when, but the majority of everyone who believes as he does is still saying these same things today. So he's going to go with you my video number 4, which you can get on drdino.com or call 855-BIG-DINO. It's video number 4, lies in the textbooks right there in the middle of the 18-hour seminar on creation evolution. $50 for the whole thing. Gil, did we get caught up on orders? I know you were backed up for a while. We caught up?
Working on it. We're close.
We're close to working on it. Okay. Let's see. Still saying the same things today, and it's wrong. It's all wrong, and I can prove it, he says. So by correcting him, I'm correcting all of them. And if you believe as he does, then this video is intended for you. Okay, Larry, bring it on. Okay. Let's see. Not as an attack against you, but to help you understand.
Why are you still calling him Larry? His name was never Larry. Like, the only public information about Aron's dead name, if you want to call it that, is that it had the initial L. Aron Nelson. Okay, so he's changed his name. Now, I know why you're calling him Larry. It's just because you're a narcissist and you don't like the fact that Aron is calling you out again. So because you can't think of any better insults, you're recycling the same insults that you used the last time you debated him. It's kind of pathetic, honestly. Like, think of some new jokes.
And the way things really are, to help you out of a deliberate deception. He's here to help us. Ronald Reagan said, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. The 10 most terrifying words today, I'm an atheist and I'm here to teach you science. Oh, I'm from the government, I'm here to help. Fast talking, Larry, here to help. Kind of confuse the topic completely. Let's see. Let's get back where we're going here, right there.
But to help you to better understand the way things really are, to help you out of a deliberate deception. I've had viewers who are still Christian and thank me for teaching them the truth about evolution. They say it's easier to lie to someone than to convince them they've been...
Hold on. Was it I'm here from the government or I'm from the government? Okay, because never mind. I was going to say I'm from the government and I'm here to help is only 9 words, but never mind.
Lied to.
Boy, now you're good at that. Wow. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. I've had viewers that were still Christian and thanked me for teaching them the truth about evolution. Larry, you don't know the truth about evolution. The truth is, dogs produce dogs and mosquitoes produce mosquitoes, and there are no exceptions. Zero, zip, nada, none. But you believe a mosquito and a whale have a common ancestor, don't you? And you believe that ancestor ultimately came from soup, which came from rocks that got rained on, which came from a dot of nothing exploding. You talk about a quack and a charlatan. All of you atheists
Yeah, that's all bullshit.
are quacks and charlatans. I'll debate all of you. Same time. Half my brain tied behind my back. If I get half the time, there's no interrupting at all. I'll be quiet when it's your turn, and you shut up when it's my turn, Larry.
Wow, are you angry or something, Kent? Okay, this is what I've been wanting to ask for a long time. I don't know how many atheists there are in the YouTube community. Let's just call it like 50. How are you going to debate 50 people at once and you still get half the time? That makes no sense. This isn't like a fight where you're like, I'll take on 2 people at once with one arm tied behind my back. Debates are supposed to be 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. So you're just trying to make yourself look like a tough guy, but you're just making yourself look stupid and saying things that don't make sense.
Which you don't know how to do. I'm going to have the mute button. I have the control of the mute button for your mic when we have the debate. Okay, I'll take you on again, no problem. That's the only reason I won't do it live, because you can't shut up when it's not your turn to talk. Anyway, let's see. It's easier to lie.
Oh, that sounds fair. Does Aron get to mute you as well when you start gish galloping? Because the first time you talked to Aron, it was a discussion, not a debate. And the second time was a video exchange debate where interrupting wasn't even possible, and you didn't even finish that debate. So what's your excuse for that?
To lie to someone than to convince them they have been lied to. Let's go back to Larry here, right here.
And that's why he has such an easy living and why I have such a difficult job trying to reach people who maybe don't even care what is really true.
Hold it. I have an easy living and he has a difficult job. Is that what he said here? Let's see. That's why he has such an easy living and why I have such a difficult job. Oh, you poor boy. Trying to reach people. Let's see. Aron Ra net worth or net income estimated between $1 million and $5 million. He has made such amount of wealth from his primary career as a YouTube star.
All right, guys, I was on mute. Okay, this website, buzzlearn.com, this is not accurate, okay? If you go to Aron's Patreon, it will literally tell you exactly how much he's getting monthly. Now, that doesn't factor in YouTube Red or YouTube Premium and AdSets money, but I can guarantee you that it's probably not $5 million. Although I hope Aron makes that much money if now or eventually, because he certainly deserves it for how hard he works. But the interesting thing is, Kent, that I know based on legal documents from your court case that when you were in Pensacola, your DAL ministry, quote unquote, was making $2 million a year, probably because you weren't filing income tax returns.
What you say, but you have to keep it going because people pay you pretty well for it, don't they? I live in cabin 7. Come see my house. Anything special about cabin 7? I got it for free. I don't think I'm anything special. See, I got my...
You don't live in a cabin, Kent. You have a house that you live in. I've seen pictures of it. Don't try to say that you live in a cabin just like everybody else at DAL.
$9 Walmart shoes on. This one doesn't have a hole in it. I finally bought it. The other one had a hole. With my really difficult job of giving tours, racing around through the mud puddles, it's not good to have a hole in your shoe. Okay.
So you're proving Aron's point right? And sir, those shoes had many holes in them, sir. So you're inaccurate again.
So he says, got an easy job. Okay, let's see.
Or because they've sunk.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I'm having technical difficulties like Kent.
So much into creationism that they don't want to admit that they were fooled by some know-nothing preacher.
Larry, you just gave a logical fallacy called, let's see. So let's see, back up here. I have an easy job. I have an easy living, and you have a difficult job. Trying to reach people who maybe don't even care what is really true. So one option is they believe in creation because they don't care what's true. In his mind, some people believe in creation because they don't care. Okay, let's see. Or they don't want to admit they're fooled. What he's done here is given what's called the logical fallacy, called the false dilemma, false dichotomy. There's two choices, and both of them are wrong, Larry. See, false dilemma, it's a logical fallacy. You can look.
It's not a false dichotomy because he said maybe those are the reasons. He didn't say that it was a fact. He said maybe those are why. It's a key word.
Look at fallacy. You can look it up in the internet. It's all over the place. You're either with us or against us. Logical fallacies, your video is full of them. You should take a course in logical fallacies and let somebody else teach it, okay? Ad hominem, where you attack the man instead of the argument. The false cause, the loaded question, the bandwagon, the appeal to authority, the composition. There's all kinds of logical fallacies, all kinds of things that people do that are wrong. You gave two options, a false dichotomy, claiming that there are only two options, when in fact there are more. Larry, the fast-talking charlatan, said he fools his viewers with logical fallacy called false dichotomy. He said they don't care about the truth, or they don't want to admit they were fooled. Is that the only reason people believe in creation? False dichotomy. Here's one. Which is correct? Elephants are yellow or elephants are pink?
How different would the question be if it said, which is correct? Maybe elephants are yellow or maybe they're pink. Also, Titan, I made you a mod, so if you could ban these idiots in the chat who keep spamming, thank you.
Neither one? They're gray. You gave two options. People don't care about the truth, or they don't want to admit they're fooled. See, in your mind, there's no third option. Maybe they believe in creation because it's right. This is one of dozens of, we're going to have a lot of fun with this video. Thank you, Larry. You made my job easy. You go sit back and spend your $5 million. I'm going to keep working hard all day, plus working on PowerPoint. I think I work as hard as anybody else around here, don't I? Okay.
Then why is it that you didn't prepare at all for our debate, Kent? Because I spent about 2 weeks preparing, writing my opening statement and making slides, but you didn't present any new slides in our debate. You just rehashed the same old stuff you always say. It's probably why you lost.
You want to know for sure who is right or wrong or what the real science is? If so, let's get started. Okay, I should have played that right here.
Do you want to know for sure who is right or wrong and what the science really is? If so, then let's get started.
I would like to know what the science really is. There are 1,100 varieties of apples. I'd be willing to bet $5 they had a common ancestor. Anybody want to take a wild guess what it was?
Yeah, you don't actually care about what the science is, Kent. And this is why I asked you the question during our debate when I said, are all grizzly bears and polar bears, are all bears the same kind? And you said yes. And I said, well, what about koala bears? Because and you're like, oh, I don't think koala bears are part of the bear kind. And it's like, yeah. Well, my point with that is that you're just going by the name of the animal, but you have to go deeper than that. Like, because a koala bear is a marsupial, and sometimes you have to go even deeper than that and go and look at the genetics, which is what you're not looking at. You know, you're just going by the names. Like, oh, there are lots of different types of apples, so they're all the same kind. No.
Mosquito. Bingo. And how old are you? 11. And he can figure it out. Larry, you got a convert right there, okay? Let's see. So let's get started on Larry. Right here, okay?
Dr. Hovind taught science for 15 years.
Whoa. Mr. Hovind, he doesn't call me Dr. Hovind, taught creation pseudoscience in churches because he was not qualified to teach in any public school. Well, Larry, I taught in Christian schools. I taught earth science, biology, physical science, as well as algebra, geometry, and trig for 15 years. If you have any evidence for your silly religion of evolution from earth science, biology, or physical science, please send it to me, and I'll do an entire Whack an Atheist just to tear apart the...
Oh, really? If that happens, are you going to make brand new slides to respond to the evidence, or are you just going to go through the same slides that you always use?
Any evidence you send. What are the best 3 evidences that you have for your religion of evolution? But
also, this topic of, oh, Kent taught in churches or Kent taught in Christian schools, to me it doesn't matter, because I say that Kent isn't a teacher because a teacher gives students information that's accurate and correct. And Kent didn't do that. So you can't teach somebody if you're teaching them a bunch of false information. So to me, it's irrelevant about whether or not it was a church or a Christian school, although Kent always acted like he did teach in public schools, like he was a public school science teacher. And when I went to public school, my geometry teacher did not teach any other classes. So it's a bit weird how you say that you taught like 7 different classes at once. I've never heard of that.
you said, I didn't teach in, let's see, what did you say? He was not qualified to teach in any public school. I made a deliberate choice. My mother was a public school teacher and retired from that job. My brother Ross.
Oh, it was a deliberate choice. Well, Aron makes a good point there, because to be qualified to teach at a public school, you have to have a degree from an accredited university. And Kent doesn't. Therefore, that means Aron is right.
Who led me to the Lord, still lives in Groveland, Illinois. Loves the Lord. He taught and retired from teaching 35 years in public school. I chose to go with Christian schools, okay? Let's see. The Department of Philosophy, Texas State. You're committing a logical fallacy called ad hominem, Larry. You're claiming because it's not an accredited school, therefore it's not good. And you said, I taught in churches. No, I taught in Christian schools, Larry. Okay, let's see. The Department of Philosophy from Texas State, ad hominem, attacking the person. This fallacy occurs when instead of addressing someone's argument or position, you irrelevantly attack the person or some aspect of the person you're making, who is making the argument. The fallacious attack can also be direct to membership in a group or institution. What is the ad hominem? Attack the man instead of attack the truth, okay? It's all, you can Google it, okay? So you're attacking me saying I'm not qualified to teach in a public school. I'll tell you what, I'll take algebra, geometry, trigonometry quiz against anybody you know if it has something to do with this debate. Biology, earth science, physical science, I think I know the subject pretty well, Larry. And as my students who took my classes, they'll say, wow, we learned a lot. It was fun. Yeah, okay. So he goes on to commit a logical fallacy of false equivalence. You're saying that it's not possible to be a good teacher and have a religious belief. Wasn't that what he was saying? Not qualified, is he? It's a logical.
No, that's not what he was saying at all. What are you talking about?
Fallacy of false equivalence. Not possible to be a good teacher and have a religious belief. False equivalence, another logical fallacy, Larry, that you're committing. Larry, there are hundreds of universities and schools started by religious organizations. All those universities, all these universities are religious background. Let's see. In the beginning, most universities in the U.S. were established as institutions of faith. Colonial colleges, Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth, Princeton, Rutgers.
Okay, did you teach at Harvard, Kent? Did you go to Harvard? No? So it's not relevant? Okay, that's what I thought.
Christian schools. Larry, if somebody graduates from one of those schools, are they not qualified to do anything? By your logic, I hope your viewers watch this and can see how crazy this is, what you're doing. You're fooling them, Larry. You're a magician, okay? Let's see. Mark Zuckerberg graduated from Harvard. So did Bill Gates. A Christian school?
I'm pretty sure that Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard, but okay. Also, Obama graduated from Harvard Law School, but I guess you're not going to mention him.
Whoa. So did Matt Damien, Conan O'Brien, President John Adams, Tommy Lee Jones, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, Henry Kissinger.
Matt Damien? And why did you skip Jeremy Lin? Are you racist against Asian people, Kent?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. All these people graduated from a Christian Harvard, started as a Christian school. Wow. How about Yale, started as a Christian school? George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush both graduated from there. Let's see. Anderson Cooper, William Howard Taft, the president. Wow. Princeton University, Woodrow Wilson came through there. John F. Kennedy, James Stewart, Lee Iacocca. You're committing a serious fallacy here, Larry. Come on now. I know you studied Iraq in Dallas. I understand, okay? But that doesn't qualify you to get by with this, okay? You are committing the logical fallacy of ad hominem, and two can play that game. You said I've got a bogus degree by mail from a...
So you just admitted that you're also committing an ad hominem because you did the exact same thing you're accusing him of at the beginning of this video, Kent. So good job.
Correspondence course. You're the only one with no degree, Larry. Let's see. He studied paleontology in Dallas. Wow. Yes, Mr. Ra, the sun god. Oh, Askala Shanaha Tayori. He studied paleontology. Does it mean he looked at a rock, got a degree, took one course and failed it? You're a quack, Larry. Sorry.
No, like I said, Aron has an associate's degree and he's still studying paleontology in Dallas right now. And also, paleontology is about fossils. It's not about rocks. That's geology. You're stupid, Kent.
To break the news to you. Let's see.
Then he got his PhD in education.
Oh my God, I love Aron.
He got a bogus degree by mail from a correspondence course at a non-accredited diploma mill. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's a lot in that one. Let's see here.
All right, time to waste a bunch of time talking about schools that have degrees by mail, which is not relevant.
Let's see. Ad hominem. You're the one with no degree. Hundreds of schools of correspondence offer courses for a degree. And Larry, I could be a kindergarten dropout and still see the truth and see how dumb evolution is. Southern New Hampshire.
But you're not claiming that you're a kindergarten dropout, are you? You're claiming that you're a doctor with 4 PhDs. And Aron was responding to the claim in the video that you're a doctor who had 15 years of teaching experience. So that's what makes it not an ad hominem.
Hampshire University, online courses. Let's see, popular online programs, healthcare administration. You could get that from an online school. How about the University of Arizona? Whoa, let's see. Online platform makes your educational experience more accessible than ever. You mean you don't even have to go to Arizona? You can do it by correspondence or online? Whoa, how dare they? University of Phoenix. Exceptional flexibility. Learn when and where you want and get help anytime. Larry, I took my courses while I was building a house and teaching school. I taught 6 or sometimes 7 classes. Most teachers get a break during the day. I go till I drop.
So that's very impressive, Kent. Very impressive. I guess you didn't eat lunch or have any type of break. Also, again, when I was in high school, there was, I believe, 7 class periods per day. And so I'm pretty sure like I said, my geometry teacher, pretty sure he taught a class for each period and then either had a lunch break off or maybe one period off. But what you're saying, and also, if you taught so many different classes, does that mean you taught one period of algebra, then geometry, then trig, then physical science? I've also heard you say that you taught physics and physical science, biology, earth science. How many classes a day did you teach? Give us an itinerary of your teaching schedule. Tell us what it was like. Give us a little bit of proof, Kent.
Right? Okay. Let's see. Walden University. Explore our 80-plus degree programs we designed to take your career to the next level. Trust a university that has partnered with adult learners for 50 years. Larry, do you pick on Walden University?
I'm sorry, Kent. Are you being picked on right now?
List of unaccredited universities in America. There's a lot of them. What does accredited mean? The government
Accredited means, like I said earlier, that your credits will transfer to another school that has a valid education program. Accredited means that it's recognized by accrediting agencies, and there are diploma mill accrediting agencies too. Again, if you're trying to get hired for a job and it's between you and one other person and you have an unaccredited degree and they have an accredited degree, that person is going to get picked over you. So that's what accreditation, that's the value of it. It literally means whether or not your degree is legitimate or not. And yours isn't, Kent.
Recognizes you. Let's see. List of unaccredited universities. Beware, students, beware. A list of colleges and universities that do not have educational accreditation from the U.S. government. Oh, I would think that might be a good thing. Okay.
Well, of course you would, Kent, because you're a sovereign citizen who doesn't even consider himself to be a citizen of the United States of America. And you also don't pay any taxes, any property taxes to the U.S. government. And you didn't pay any Social Security taxes before you went to jail, nor income tax for 20 years, which you are self-admitted that you did. And that's why you went to jail. So, of course, you're anti-government, Kent.
And one more here, and he's got so many fallacies here. This will be fun. Okay.
He's always had a love for teaching.
He doesn't like to learn things and will not correct his errors. Well, show me one.
Okay, you want an example of that, Kent? When you were taking calls on Discord, on Discord, I told you that you have an older video where you say that the rungs of the ladder of the DNA molecule, if you look at it as a ladder, are genes, when that's not true. They aren't genes. They're base pairs. They're two base pairs. What a gene is a section of DNA, the DNA strand. It's like a chunk of it. And I've also told you in a comment, I said that Kent doesn't know the difference between a poisonous snake and a venomous snake. A venomous snake is one that has venom glands and injects venom into you, whereas a poisonous animal is like a poisoned dart frog, where if you eat it, you'll be poisoned by it, but it doesn't have venom glands. And to this day, you still refuse to call a venomous snake venomous. You say that it's common vernacular that people say rattlesnakes are poisonous, which is not true. So people in the chat can tell me, have you ever called a rattlesnake poisonous or heard anybody call it that?
One at a time, Larry, specifically, and I think you're going to do that on this series, and I'm going to go everything I can unless I lose interest. I got other fish to fry. And since you only don't have a degree, I probably shouldn't waste any time on you at all, but I'm going to try to correct your error for you, Mr.
What are you, William Lane Craig now, Kent? You're not going to talk to anybody who doesn't have a PhD? Get off your fucking high horse, Kent.
Nelson? Let's see.
Well, one thing that he's discovered is that in many of the science textbooks across America today, there are some fallacies, some false information being presented.
Is it me, or does Eric Hovind have like the flattest head of all time? Like, why is his head so flat? Is it because his brain isn't very big? Okay, I'm just gonna stop there.
Why is this information in the science textbooks? What are they trying to prove? Hi, my name is Eric, and in this seminar called Lies in the Textbooks, you're going to find out some of those lies that are being presented and what you can do about it.
Supposed lies in the textbook.
Well, welcome to our seminar on lies in the textbooks. My name is Kent Hovind. I taught high school science for 15 years. And now for what?
Now, Larry, Christian schools. Would you correct that, please? Christian schools. Harvard's a Christian school. Started off that way.
Yeah, allegedly one of the schools was a school that you started, and you said you were also the principal of. So, I mean, it's not much of an accomplishment. And again, you in these videos, you framed it like you were just a high school science teacher. When people hear that, they think public schools, which you were not qualified to teach at.
Yale, Princeton. I didn't teach in churches. I taught in Christian schools, okay?
Well, since 1989, I've been doing seminars on creation, evolution, and dinosaurs. And our goal is to strengthen your faith in God's Word. Now, this is...
Okay, Larry, let me go back to where we were here. Right here, Whack an Atheist.
What's wrong, Kent? Is there a reason that you suddenly stopped the video? I can't imagine any reason why you would suddenly stop the video, Kent. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank here.
Okay. Thirdly, Larry has what the Australians call, the Aussies call, the tall poppy syndrome. When I was preaching in Australia, I heard that phrase, tall poppy syndrome. What's that? Yeah, you cut down the tallest poppy and all the rest of them feel taller. You got a field of poppies growing and one grows a little taller than the rest. So rather than everybody try to catch up to that one, they try to cut that one down. They think that cutting down someone higher than himself in education, wisdom, common sense, maybe looks, speaking skills, etc.
Kent, you are such a narcissist, it's unbelievable.
Has somehow made himself taller. He thinks that by cutting me down, he's made his religion of evolutionism more elevated. Cutting down high achievers, the tall poppy syndrome. Aussie word of the day by Yank in Australia. Tall poppy, an Aussie saying, describes a social phenomena in which people of genuine merit are resented, attacked, cut down, criticized because of their talents or achievements that elevate them above or distinguish them from their peers. So Lexi wants to deflect attention away from the fact that he believes he's related to a frog and a whale and that he came from a rock. So what he's doing is a divert.
Kent, evolution theory does not say that we came from Iraq. Evolution theory says that we came out of Africa. Get it right.
Version, a misdirection. He's trying to pick on my seminar to take people's attention off of the fact that he believes this is grandpa. I was in a debate. I mentioned you atheists believe we come from a rock. And the atheist said,
Kent, I told you, we don't come from Iraq. We come from out of Africa.
no, we don't. I said, well, where did we come from? It was a lady. I remember that now. She said, we came from a macromolecule. I said, and where did that come from? She said, from the oceans, from the prebiotic soup.
Kent, please list the name of this person and the number of the debate, because I've seen every one of your debates. I've seen your debates against Karen Bartelt and against the other woman you debated. There's not many of them where you debate against a woman. And this exchange never came up.
I said, and where did the oceans come from? She said, well, it rained on the rocks for millions of years. It was cool. You could see it slowly dawning on her. I do believe I come from a rock. Yeah, you do, don't you, Larry? Grandpa. I'll make you one if you want. Send it to you. Keep it on your shelf. And you can bow down and worship it if you want. Yeah. Okay. Misdirection. Intentional deflection of attention for the purpose of disguise. You're doing this whole series on Kent Hovind and lies in the textbooks that I did to misdirect people away from what you really believe. Explain atheism to me. Explain, where did the world come from? Explain under your...
Okay, hold on. Stop gish galloping. Okay, atheism is just the state of not being convinced of your religious claim that your God exists, Kent. Now, that's just the basic definition. There are a lot more nuanced definitions of it, but for the terms of this video, I'm just going to say that it means somebody who's not convinced that your Christian God exists. And where the universe came from, well, I would defer to what the cosmologists and astronomers say, and that's that 13.8 billion years ago, the universe was localized in a hot, dense state, and that expansion started after the Planck epoch, and that now the universe is in a much cooler, less dense state because of cosmic expansion.
Your religion of atheism, what is the purpose of life? Explain, if you would, please, Larry, how do you tell right from wrong? Is it wrong?
It's pretty easy. It's basically just anything that reduces unnecessary harm or suffering or increases happiness is right, and anything that increases unnecessary harm, pain, or suffering or strife or decreases happiness unnecessarily is wrong. And if you want to say, Kent, that your religion has allowed you to know right from wrong more than somebody who's an atheist, I question that, because you are an extremely immoral, bigoted, and mean-spirited person. So that doesn't really add up. Also, there is a huge percentage, a much higher percentage of Christians and religious people in jail in America per capita rather than atheists. Now, part of that problem could be that there's too many people in jail in America, period. But if you're just comparing Christian to atheist, then certainly it would seem that they have more trouble telling right from wrong, especially if you just look at Josh Duggar or any of these mega church preachers, or televangelists. I mean, come on. Or Catholic priests, come on.
Wrong to murder somebody? If so, why?
Okay, well, that would be because it's causing them pain and the loss of life unnecessarily. But that's a very complex question. And also, God says that thou shalt not murder, but he himself murders tons of people and commands his holy prophets to murder people too. So, I mean, that's not a very good...
How do you measure right and wrong? I asked an atheist one time, I said, how do you tell right from wrong? He said, that's easy. He said, I decide what's right or wrong. He said, I'm the God of my own universe.
So the atheist thought that he was a god? Yeah, you're making this shit up, Kent.
I said, I'm glad to hear about that, because I'm going to shoot you in 5 minutes. He said, you can't do that. I said, well, sure I can. I'm the God of my own universe. I decided people like you are useless. I'm going to shoot you. What would be wrong with that, Larry?
This man thinks that this story makes him look good.
If you are an atheist, rather than pick on the creationist to misdirect people, please explain how after all, you were a leader in the atheist community because you stayed in Iraq and Dallas. I mean, you know everything now. So how do you tell right from wrong? Where's your list of things that are right and wrong? Does society just... Well, then in a Muslim society, it's okay to kill anybody who's not Muslim, isn't it? Yeah. And in a headhunting society, they've all voted. It's okay to cut people's heads off. It's okay, no problem.
Kent, your bigotry against Muslims and against tribal people is really disgusting. Like in our debate where you said that every person in a Muslim majority country thinks that it's okay to kill Christians, when that's something that Muslim terrorists do. It's really gross how you talk about Muslims, Kent. And one of my best friends is a Muslim, so kindly stop saying that bullshit.
No problem. Is there a standard any place for right and wrong? Where did we come from? How do we know right from wrong? And thirdly, Larry, under your goal of atheism, your religion, I mean, where do you go when you die? Just dust? You're going to work really hard all your life and then die and turn back to dust, and that's it?
Well, like I've said in other videos, Kent, most people work hard and build up a life savings so that they can provide an inheritance for their children. Now, I know that you intentionally have said that you aren't doing that, but that's what normal people do.
Might as well eat, drink, and be merry. That's their philosophy. Yeah. So
This is the attitude that has caused the financial crisis, and this is the attitude that has led us to climate change. No, we have to build a better society for the people who will come after we die. It doesn't just matter like what happens when we're alive. It matters that we take care of the planet we're on and take care of the economy so that our grandchildren's grandchildren aren't fucked like this generation is when it comes to the economy. Thanks to boomers like you, Kent.
misdirection. Look, there's an elephant. Look at Hovind, but don't examine what I want you to believe. Look over there. That's what you're doing, Larry. All kinds of logical fallacies, and we're going to point them all out. Since you chose to pick on my seminar part 4, thank you, by the way. You've made my job real easy for the next couple of months or maybe a couple of years. I can't believe anybody listens to you on any topic, but okay, we'll pick on that. And you can come, we'll have a debate. Remember, I get control of your microphone. I'll shut up when it's your turn to talk, and you shut up when it's my turn to talk. Watch the one debate I did with him, and you'll see why I don't want that again. He can't shut up. He's like that UPS guy, 900 words a minute. I thought I talk fast. That guy, man. Okay, any questions or comments here? Chat. Thank you for the gift.
Okay, well, that's about it for this video. Yeah, I am surprised that Kent even played any of Aron's video, but the amount of pettiness, projection, and insults thrown in this video, it's just ridiculous, and it makes me excited to see what Aron will do in his next video, if he's just going to keep responding to the old seminar or if he's going to respond to this, because they never really finished their video exchange debate. And I'm excited about Aron's new series, but I love it when Aron responds to Kent's newer videos. I don't really care about the old videos because I've seen them before and they're not, they're not that exciting to me. So I'm interested to see what happens next, but thanks for watching, guys.